Welcome to my channel Learn It Well. Today's topic is earned value analysis, a very important topic from software project management. The progress of a project at any point in time can be measured with the help of earned value analysis. It is a method that serves to measure the amount of work that is actually being performed and track the deviation that is there from the planned estimation in terms of the cost and the schedule. The earned value analysis answers effectively to the three questions: where have we been, where are we now, and where are we going? We can carry out the earned value analysis in a very effective manner if we are accustomed with the three important parameters. They are the planned value, earned value, and the actual cost. If we understand that the planned value is future oriented, earned value is future and present oriented, whereas the actual cost is present oriented. What we mean by the future and present, let's understand this step by step. You can see three or four keywords in these slide. One is the budgeted, the second is your scheduled, the third is your work product, and the fourth is your actual cost. When I talk about the word budgeted and schedule, we are talking in terms of something that has not yet happened but we are planning to do. When I talk about the work product, that is something that is actually accomplished, and actual is the actual tracking report that we have. So planned value has another name, that is the budgeted cost of work schedule, that we are talking in terms entirely on the plan. The earned value is the budgeted cost of the work product. That means we are talking about the planned cost of the work that has already been done, and the actual cost is that whatever work has been done, we are determining the or we are recording the cost of that particular milestone. As we have now understood the gist of the planned value, earned value, and the actual cost, let's define them individually. Planned value describes how far along the project work is supposed to be at any given point in terms of schedule and cost. How much time will it require and how much cost a particular activity requires. Talking about the earned value, it describes that whatever work has been done till now, what is the worth of the project as we had planned in the beginning. The actual cost is the cost that has actually been spent on the work when being tracked. The three basic parameters are used to determine at that point in time whether my work is being achieved as planned or there is some kind of deviation. It is measured on the basis of the cost variance and schedule variance. When we talk about the cost variance, it has a particular formula, that is the earned value minus the actual cost will give us the variance in terms of cost. The schedule variance is given as the earned value minus the planned value. The values of the cost variance and schedule variance can again be converted into an efficiency indicator, or you can say the performance indicator, that is the cost performance indicator and the schedule performance indicator. By dividing the earned value by actual cost, we receive the value of CPI, and SPI is termed as EV upon PV, that is the earned value upon the planned value. Let us understand the earned value numerical, where the activity planning in terms of cost and schedule is given. The activities are given from A to E. There are some predecessors that are given, duration that each activity takes to complete, every activity, how much money is planned for each activity. That is, for A it is given 300 per day, that costs to 600 because A takes 2 days. So similarly, the cost per day for each activity is given, and we can calculate the total cost from the per day cost. Along with the planned activity cost and schedule, we have already been given that an actual work is monitored on the seventh day. So we need to justify computationally whether the project is on time or delayed, that is, it is over budget or within the same. So here on the screen you can see that there is a planned schedule and cost that is given, and the actual tracked terms that are given on the seventh day. So we are given some values of the actual work monitored on the seventh day.
Now let's map the actual recording at the end of the seventh day and the planned value that was estimated in the beginning of the project. So let's work it out through this Gantt chart. Let's understand this. So we'll be representing the planned with the red and the actual recording with the green. So first let's see what this red is doing. So according to the table that is given above, we can see that A takes 2 days. So one block here signifies 1 day. So here it is signifying 1 day. So here we say that A takes 2 days, B takes 3 days, C takes 3 days, and the precedence is also given that C can only start after B. So that is how we have plotted A, and after that we have started with B. So this is according to the precedence. Then D is having the predecessor as B, so we would be starting the D right after B, and it takes 2 days. E takes 3 days. So that is how we plot the planned value. Now let's come to the green invocation. According to the table that is given for the actual recording, it says that B is 100% complete. That means at the end of the 7th day, when I monitored my project, the result was that A was 100% complete, B was 100% complete. Now, according to the table that is given, we have seen that the activity C is 33% complete. Now, ideally, the C activity is of 3 days, and if we take out the 33% of 3 days, we'll get 1 day. And it is saying that it was 1 day complete when I observed on the 7th day. Now, coming to D, it says that it is 50% complete on observation, and the D was ideally of 2 days, so we have marked it as 1. So that is how we have mapped the planned versus the actual monitored onto this graph. And why we haven't considered E is because at the on the 7th day we haven't yet started with the E activity. Now let us calculate the budgeted cost of work schedule and budgeted cost of work product with the help of this Gantt chart. So let's first calculate the BCWS, that is the planned value. The planned value is the cost that was supposed to be that was budgeted at the end of 7th day. So let's see how much work has been planned at the end of 7th day. So in this Gantt chart you can see that A is 2 days complete. So we'll just map it out, the table that is given above, we'll map it out the days for the BCWS. So A was supposed to be taking 2 days, and B was 3 days, and C was, so here you can see that at the end of the 7th day, C was supposed to be complete 2 days. So that is why I am taking here 2 days. At the end of the 7th day, the D was supposed to be complete 100%, that is it was supposed to be doing 2 days, and E is 0 since we haven't started E in the planned as well. Now we have to give the cost, that how much cost was planned for the work till 7th day. So A has the per day cost as 300. So the cost at the planned was for activity A at the end of 7th day is 600. 1200 since it is B was supposed to be 100% complete. Now C was covering 2 days out of 3 days in the planned scenario after 7th day. So C is having 400 per day. So here we'll say that it costed the planned cost is 800. The per day cost for D is 100. So we have the planned value at the end of 7th day as 200. So here we have done, what we have done is that at the end of 7th day, this was the amount of work that was supposed to be done, and this is the cost that was planned at the end of 7th day. Now let's see how much work is actually done on the 7th day. Now what I am doing is that I need to track. So the green lines that I have plotted with the Gantt chart, I need to see that how many days have been actually completed. So here it says that A was supposed to be completed 2 days, it is completing 2 days. It was supposed to be completed 3 days, it is completing 3 days. But here you can see that it was supposed to complete 2 days, but here I am only completing 1 day. Here D was supposed to complete 2 days and I am covering only 1 day. So that is how we would be writing the days for the budgeted cost of work product. So earned value we will be writing. So again we have A, B, C, D and E. So number of days that it is executing is 2 and it is 3, and C is only executing for 1 and D is also executing for 1. So how I have calculated this is this was 100% complete, this was 100% complete, but this was only 33% and this was 50%. And according to the work that has actually been completed, what was supposed to be the cost of the work. Now this is not the actual value, but we are determining the planned value for the work that has actually been done. So this was the work that was supposed to be done, and this is the work that has actually been done, and what is the worth of the work done till now. Now A is costing rupees 300 per day, so it is completing 2 days, so we have rupees 600. Now B is 3 days and per day cost is 400, so it will be costing 1200. Coming to C, now C, the per day cost of C is 400 and I have completed only 1 day, so it will, the worth of 1 day is 400. Now coming to D, now D is covering 50%, that is 1 day, and the per day cost of D is 100, so I am calculating as 100. So this is the earned value and this is the planned value. I had planned this much work till the 7th day, and this is the cost that I was planning, but however when I monitored, the amount of work varied, but I can derive the cost, the per day cost. I can with the help of the per day cost I can determine the cost that is that was planned for the actual work done. From the previous computation, I have written the values that we obtained for A, B, C and D. So planned value is the work that should have been completed and its cost according to the per day. BCWP is the earned value. Now this was the planned, but in actual this much amount of work was done, and the worth, so we had said that 300 per day was for A. So whatever work has been done till now, so what is the worth of the work that has been done, and then we the above table that shows the actual cost that has been monitored. We have seen that on the 7th day A costed 600, B costed 1400, C costed 500 and D costed 200. So the next step is that we need to calculate the total of these values. So we receive the total planned value at the end of 7th day was supposed to be, if you calculate, you'll get the value as 2800. For the earned value at the end of 7th day, the worth of work that has been done is 2300. So this is the worth of the work that has actually been done, and what is the actual cost. So this was the work that was supposed to cost, and this is what it is actually costing. So when we total out, we get the value as 2700. So till now we have calculated the value of planned value, earned value, and the actual cost. Now we need to calculate the variance. Based on the variance and the performance index, we calculate whether it is on time or not, or whether it is within the budget or not. So we have already seen the formula for CV. CV is so the formula for CV is, so CV is equal to EV minus your AC. So we'll get the value of the variance of how much it is getting. So we would be subtracting the value of EV, that is 2300, minus we would be doing the 2700. So we would be getting a value of 400. Now let's come to the schedule variance, wherein the formula for the schedule variance is given as SV is equals to EV minus the planned value. So here we see that the EV is 2300 and we minus it from the 2800, so we get the value of minus of 500.
Once we have calculated the cost variance and the schedule variance, as we had seen in the beginning, that the variances can be converted into the performance indicator by using the formula earned value upon AC, that will give us the value of CPI, and SPI will be given as the EV upon PV. Here, as you can see that we have received four values. Two are the variances in terms of cost and schedule, and the other are the performance indicators. Now, after we receive the variance and indicators, just by looking at the values that we have determined, we can say whether the project is on time or not, whether the project is within the budget or not. If you can see, the cost variance is coming as minus 400, the schedule variance is derived as minus 500. When we receive a minus sign in variances, that represents that we are having an over budget, or it would represent the schedule delay in terms of the schedule variance. In terms of the performance indicators, any value that is less than 1 indicates a over budget scenario or a delayed scenario. So in this manner we can derive whether a project is on time or not, it is within the schedule or not. Till this instance of time, we have seen that we can track the project in terms of the cost, whether it is over budget, under budget, or on the right path, whether the project is on schedule or delayed. We can always use an indicator to track the overall project health, which is a product of the CPI and the SPI. In the previous example, we had the value of CPI obtained as 0.851 and the SPI as 0.82, which gave an overall critical ratio of 0.697. A CR of 1.00 indicates, that is a critical ratio of 1 indicates that the overall project performance is on target. So the critical ratio is the product of CPI and SPI, and it is also known as the cost schedule index. So it can either be called as the CR or a CSI, which shows the overall project health. So 0.697 indicates that my overall project is not on target. A graph has been shown on the slide wherein there are four different scenarios wherein my project is early but it is over budget. The early project means that I have the value of schedule that is greater than 1, but it is over budget, that is less than 1. So similarly, we have four quadrants where where we are early and under budget, where we are early and over budget, we are late and over budget, late but under budget. So the ideal situation is when the CR is equal to 1. That means whatever we have estimated, we have actually got the result when we monitored executed on the right date, which is not really feasible on the actual scenario. So we would try to bring the overall performance as close to the value of 1 to have the better maximized performance for the project. That is all from the Module 3 Part 2 Earned Value Analysis. For more videos on SPM, you can check the channel Learn It Well. If you like my content, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for all the notifications from Learn It Well.